Hey everybody, Tommy from Crooked River Forge here. I'm going to do a little demonstration video of how I actually sharpen my knives. I've got two here in particular that I'm going to work with, one of which is a Damascus Western French chef. So as you can see, that's a very thin profile down to the blade edge on this blade. Doesn't take a whole lot to get this thing razor sharp. Next up, on one of my cleavers, you'll see this is a much thicker blade. I believe I started with 3/16 thick steel, and I did a more of a convex grind on this. So this thing is actually pretty darn sharp right now as it is. So all I'm going to do is really just take the burr off that's on there. There's a slight burr. But what I'm going to be using here is the rotary platen from Beaumont. And I like this because I've got a little bit of flex here, especially when I'm putting this convex grind on this blade. It allows for a little bit of a rolling to take place while I'm actually grinding this blade down. So that's how I get that convex blade on this style of a cleaver. Now what that's good for is it's not going to be such an edge that's going to roll like this one might if I was chopping through bone. It's going to allow this thing to kind of plow and move material out of the way as I'm going through it. So very nice chopper here. So what I've got going, I'm starting off with 180 grit. It's sort of a flexible belt, which I like when I'm sharpening. So it does, even on the chefs, it does allow me to put a little bit of a convex edge on the blades. So I'll be starting off with that. It's a used 180, so it's not really all that grippy. Not a lot of grit left on it, but that's what I like. And then I'll be dropping down to a 320 that's also worn, and then I'll head over to my stropping station, and that's where I finish them off with a leather strop. I'll use a belt for a while that's just dedicated to sharpening only, and that's all that blade, or that's all that belt ever sees. So that being said, let's get started. All right, so I'm going to start with the chef's knife first. I'm using the classic KMG. The reason I like this setup, it's a little bit lower for me, so as I'm sharpening, I've got a good angle here on my platen, and I've got the variable speed. So when I start this thing up, I'm going to drop it down to about 40% on the power. Don't need a whole lot. Helps keep the blade a little cooler. And I'm just going to kind of come in and come across the blade. A couple passes on each side to get this thing laid in. Now what I'm looking for as I'm doing this, it's impossible for you to see this. It's just such a fine little thing that's transpiring here. Is I'm chasing a burr, and basically I can see that burr as I'm going down the blade, and I want to roll it over to one side. So I've got just one little spot right here where it hasn't rolled. So I'm going to hit this thing again and bring it back on. So there we go. So this one on the first pass is ready to go. I've got a little bit of a burr that I can feel, and that's basically what you want to do. You want to chase that burr from this side to this side, and then I'll step down and grit, and I'll create even less of a burr. And then when I take this thing over to the leather strop, it'll just finely tune that raised portion of the burr down to nothing. All right, now we're going to put the edge on this cleaver. So like I said, I'm going to come in here and just try to take this burr off. So I am pushing on that belt just slightly, and I can see I'm pretty much got that burr onto the other side already. And that's all it took for that one. Like I said, this one was pretty much already sharpened, ready to go. It just needed that burr removed. So we'll switch up belts. Very quick operation on this machine. And we're going to go back to the Chevy. And that guy's ready to strop. That's all it really took with that second belt. That thing is pretty much ready to go. You can see it just shaves away hair, no problem. And we'll just fine tune that thing on the leather strop and she'll be ready to go. Beautiful looking blade, eh? Next up, cleaver. And there we go. Yet again. Take off a little bit more here. Good to go. Okay, so my final step. This is just a soft piece of leather. And basically I just take and I do this probably in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 times on each side. And that will remove that micro burr that I have on there right now. And turn this thing into a lightsaber. Oh yeah, you can feel that thing biting, and that is a sharp blade. Same thing with the cleaver. That one doesn't need as much, I don't think, because it's a razor. So there you have it. So let's get into a couple cut tests next, eh? Cut test number 1. Cut test number 2, low ceilings. Let's try this out. Laser beam. There you have it. That's how I sharpen each and every blade. Oh wait, you want to see the cleaver too? He didn't quite make it all the way through. But that's a beast of a blade to be cutting like that. Alright then, so as you can see, I was able to get these two blades razor sharp, just strictly using a KMG belt grinder. And you know, there's a million ways to skin a cat. This is how I have learned how to do it, and it gets the job done for me. It's efficient. I can't say any more about it. Boom. Hope you enjoyed. If you got any questions, hit me up. Crooked River Forge.